Welcome to the Cross-Examination Podcast.
After, stay tuned after the no credits to see what happened.
Yeah.
That fucking hurt. It hurt for a second. It was fucking deep, dude. So we got a workplace injury already.
Oh, boy.
Hey, we did go, 19 episodes of the workplace injury?
Yeah.
It's episode 19. Oh, we forgot to say what episode the other one. Check out Bon We.
Yeah. This is the Cross-Examination Podcast, episode 19. I'm your host, Justus, and this is my co-host, Matt. Today, we're going to be talking about gatekeeping in anime because, good Lord, Twitter fucking blew up. It was like 2 or 3 days ago.
Do you want to say what the dude's name is? I wonder if the tweet still exists.
The tweet does still exist because the guy doesn't give a shit. But it was enough of a thing that it reached trending on Twitter.
Did it?
Yeah,
what was it?
discussion wise.
Gatekeeping or
at one point that was the big kind of hashtag for it. But the individual said his initial tweet that sparked it all. Yeah, you've got it up there.
Yeah, I got his.
It says, if all your common knowledge of anime is Demon Slayer, Naruto, Inuyasha, Bleach, One Piece, Fate, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Gundam, My Hero, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and Ghost in the Shell, then you're not an anime fan. Normies, stay the fuck out of anime.
I've always says Gundam, and Gundam's
yeah.
did their 45th anniversary?
Mm-hmm. Like every single one of these shows have over 100+ episodes.
Yeah.
One Piece is over 900 episodes.
Gundam's
Bleach is 350-ish.
Gundam's got to be 600 something because a lot of those series have over 80 episodes. Look it up.
Dragon Ball Z has a shit ton. Naruto is 700 something episodes. I think total between the core 2 series of being Naruto and Shippuden, of course.
Because it just shows the.
Just
the first 3 series you got. What's that? 50, 143 just in the first couple series. There was a lot. There was definitely over.
Yeah.
That's just something fucked up. Not really fucked up say. It's just you can be an anime fan if you only watch those. Because to be fair, if you watched all those, One Piece started in the 90s?
Yeah, 90s.
And then Gundam started in 80s. Maybe
early 80s?
Early 80s. Yeah, I think 80. I guess we can look
You've got the list there.
79. Started in 79. So really you've stuck with anime this entire time because this is just all Gundam. This list I'm scrolling down. It's massive.
Yeah, one of the other tweets that started the hashtag gatekeeping was him replying to himself, subtweeting. Just want to remind folks that gatekeeping your fandoms is a good thing. And it's
so he's trying to backpedal?
No, he's doubling down where it's yo, it's normies stay the fuck out, and gatekeeping and protecting the anime is a good thing. And it's you're not protecting anything though. It doesn't.
Don't gatekeep anime unless you're a Gundam fan. Stay strong.
Okay, calm down. But
I love Gundam.
The
Konosuba.
It's so strange because of course this guy is 100% American, and it's oh, I'm so glad that your wisdom is high enough that you can help dictate something in a Japanese industry on how you think things should be ran. Okay, get your Megamine out here. But it's such a bad take. Especially for the shows that he listed where it's
you listed
11 shows, I think, total.
Yeah, you listed 11 of the biggest shows. Literally the biggest show.
I missed one. The Fate franchise, which is not an easy franchise to just
get into.
Know all about.
He just listed the big ones on Netflix. That's all he's done.
Mm-hmm.
And Fate's pretty expansive because it's not you watch it in order. You got to
they're all super expansive, except for Demon Slayer, which is
so far it's only one.
New.
Yeah.
But like Naruto again has 700 episodes, multiple.
Maybe he'll make
movies.
another tweet next week with the other seven most popular.
I don't understand why people.
Also, Naruto's got 720.
720 episodes. That doesn't count the movies.
Not the movies,
either.
And it doesn't count Boruto, and it doesn't count the OVAs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it's a similar thing with like Ghost in the Shell, where it's like Ghost in the Shell is niche as shit.
Yeah, like people that have seen Ghost in the Shell are typically part of the older anime community. Mm-hmm. It's not a newer anime thing.
Unless you watch the new one, in which case that whole 3D thing, like I feel sorry for you, but that's the CGI stuff. It's
you never know. Maybe next week he'll list Berserk.
Yeah.
That's just so weird. Yeah, I remember seeing that, I think, when the tweet came out, like a couple hours. Like, when did that tweet get posted?
The 15th. So, like 3 days ago.
So, I think I maybe saw it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
People trying to gatekeep anime, they didn't grow up in the mid-2000s. The thing is, like, when we went to high school, there wasn't a whole lot of people. There was like an anime club, but it was like 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's a school of like, what did we have? We had like 1,600 students.
Did we have that many? I thought
it was like 1,200?
600.
I don't know. I just feel like it was a lot more than it probably was.
I don't know. I can look it up. But, you've got it. But yeah, it's such a like 2021 take where it's like you didn't.
Hang on, I gotta look up high school.
You need to specify which Roosevelt. That is not ours.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
1900? That
doesn't
seem right.
Yeah. Besides that, I mean, when you think like when we went, it was probably like 1,600. Even if you went like 1,000.
Yeah.
So 8 and 1,000, that's less than 1%. So I mean, don't try and gatekeep. The community's like, I wouldn't say the community in other places probably pretty big, but like there's a lot of places like we have a buddy that grew up in like rural Iowa where it's probably just him was the only one that liked anime. Maybe one other person. Don't try and gatekeep. There's plenty of cool anime. Imagine if you only watched what he listed. You would have never seen things like we watched like Hiromiya, Spider, Dr. Stone, Konosuba especially.
Yeah, I think the difficult thing for me is by gatekeeping, like, and not allowing anime to become more popular over time in Western culture and stuff like that, it would Funimation streaming service and Crunchyroll and stuff like that just wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Like Netflix wouldn't have an anime section or be paying for anime like originals.
Yeah, the companies are realizing anime is a big industry now.
Mm-hmm. And
so when we look up anime is like a multi-billion-dollar industry.
It's a multi-billion. It was like 1 or 2 billion, but a total, which is not massive, but it still ends in a B.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like imagine we were talking about views and stuff like that because of course we're trying to build an audience and things like that.
22 billion.
Oh, it's much.
Or sorry, now it's 23.5 billion.
Oh, well, but you see the chart, right? That's
it's grown so much, even from like 2014. Oh wait, that's projected in 2025.
Oh,
so in millions, it was only like in 2014 when we were getting roughly out of high school, it was $270 million. To now, it's you got planes. I mean, Pokemon's the most notable. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't throw Pokemon in that.
Yeah.
Or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or basically all the shit on 4K. He
did throw Yu-Gi-Oh! He failed to mention fucking Pokemon. I think it's because if you look through his tweets, he was doing a Pokemon playthrough of something.
Oh, he didn't want to get on Nintendo's bad side? Nintendo would have been like, nah, block.
Yeah, but like...
It's interesting.
I think even for me, the difficult thing is like if all of your common knowledge are these 11 shows, which if you... fully understand any of those 11 shows, you are an anime fan. Like, I like Bleach. I like Bleach a lot. I still don't know everything about Bleach. I've forgotten a lot of it. Like, I know some of the filler stuff and a lot of that. But, like, that doesn't make me any less of a fan if I'm actively, like, back when Bleach was still airing, like, watching it every single Saturday on Toonami. And like going to the local library and trying to pick up the most recent manga that's finally hit the library. Like, and coming back with 8-9 volumes at a time to read those. Like, to say that I'm like not an anime fan. And a lot of these are introductions that people like bounce or are the springboard to bounce off of.
I think most people in the US probably started with Dragon Ball or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! To then get into, that's how I got into other anime. I started watching, I think the first anime I actually ever watched was probably Yu-Gi-Oh!
For me, it was DBZ.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, because it was back in the like super
My parents
late
thought it was
90s.
too violent.
I ended up watching it when I was at my grandma's when I was like 4 or 5. And I was sick and just happened to be up at 11 p.m. because couldn't go to bed. And like my grandma put on cartoons and DBZ was on. And even then, like I remembered like identifying that, hey, this is kind of different because like
it's
we just watched.
well.
Well, no, not even that, but like, oh, we watched 2 episodes and like the story continued.
Yeah.
Like,
because we talked about that on podcast before, like anime is different because you get an overarching. Because cartoons are typically just like, what's a good example?
Family Guy.
Family Guy. Yeah,
a lot
like
of times.
each episode's different. It's very rare that it overarcs. There might be a callback, but it's not the same as you watch Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and it's his whole journey to an end.
Yeah, and especially like around that time, that the first kind of like touch into that was early DBZ being Vegeta just like getting ready to land on Earth, and Goku being already in like the spirit realm area that he was at. What is it, Kami's World or some shit?
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah,
I'm not a true DBZ fan.
It's been a very long time since
DBZ is also a very big overarching. Listen, if you're gonna watch Dragon Ball, just watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. They cut out like 90% of the yelling and 90% of the fucking filler.
Plus, they updated the animation a little bit.
Because I think it takes it from like 600 something episodes down to like 200.
I don't remember.
They take it down a lot. Now, granted, if you want to really watch everything, I guess you can watch both. But
yeah, and for me, like again, DBZ was my springboard of like occasionally being like, oh hey, this is an interesting show, and getting interested in like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. Specifically, Pokemon was the game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the card game. But I still remember like waking up on Saturday mornings, like fucking 4 kids, like super censored bullshit, and like enjoying the hell out of it. Like the Pegasus, Arc Island stuff. Yeah, like all of that was super cool to watch like as a kid. And if it wasn't for those shows, I wouldn't have seen things like Anohana and Your Lie in April and Made in Abyss. And like,
you wouldn't be watching this.
I mean, it's not even just like this. It's Joey, the Anime Man, Gig, like Mother's Basement.
Anime is definitely one of those things where, because it's always that fight of, oh, is it a cartoon or is it anime? At the end of the day, super controversial. They are both cartoons. One's just from Japan, but obviously Japanese cartoons, anime, is on its whole different league of its own. There are some cartoons in the U.S. that
they value storytelling.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, a lot of those animes do end compared to the U.S. where it is about money and, like, continue. Like, when you look at, like, the Batman stuff, that just continues. Now, you can argue Naruto and Dragon Ball. Yes, but Dragon Ball still has a story that's written for it.
And I mean, even over in Japan, like there are certain shows that are very, very popular where you can argue like the overall like narrative or whatever doesn't really matter, or like isn't a super heavy front. Like Gintama is a good example of. Like,
Gintama's just fun to watch all the time.
Yeah, there's just a lot of bullshit there. Doraemon and we call it Detective Conan.
It's got another.
Yeah, I forget the fucking Japanese name of it.
Lupin the Third is still going on. They just came out with another movie.
Yeah.
Those are just things where it's a classic. It just, people love them.
Yeah, and those do a good job of like keeping an episode or a couple episode kind of narrative. Like I know Gintama has kind of more of an overarching thing, but like
Gintama's just like, listen.
Gintama
is like expansive. The Family Guy of like, because it's like, let's just crack jokes all the time.
And
the sledding scene, people will know what I'm talking about. My favorite. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
2 businessmen sliding down the hill, guiding.
I think I've seen that clip. I haven't actually been able to sit down and like watch Gintama just because, like now it's daunting. It's a lot. Even the thing that kills me is people that would be interested in anime and that you would call normies wouldn't naturally just look at like Gundam or Bleach and be like, yes, give me 300 plus episodes.
Gundam, they would.
China like Gundam itself.
I love Gundam. Gundam itself is a terror. It's like the story is shit house.
Yeah, like Gundam itself, like the overarching Gundam is a bit more palatable because there's 40 episodes, or like Iron Blooded Orphans is like 2 seasons, 12 episodes each or some shit like that. It's like
24.
Oh, is it?
It's long. It is long.
Yeah, but like 24 episodes is fairly palatable. But you look at Bleach and you're like, 328 or 23 episodes, and it's like, yes, I shall start here, and this is where I'll like throw everything into.
Yeah, it's 50 episodes.
It's 50. Okay, so 25. It's like 2 seasons.
I think the first season's 24 and the second's 25.
Okay.
The thing is, like, the cool thing about Netflix picking up anime is people can go in, they can just watch it, and they know it's going to be there for a while. It's not like Crunchyroll or Funimation where that's a lot of new stuff. Netflix is more of like popular series that have been tried and people know if they like them, they can sit down, they can watch the whole thing. Like, it's going to be rare for Netflix to pick up a really shitty anime that people really hate. They're not going to pick up something like Goblin Slayer. No, I think they did, but I think it's censored.
That wouldn't kind of surprise me.
Yeah.
Look, the
thing is,
first scene
they're
for
not
Goblin
gonna,
Slayer is a little...
Yeah, they're not going to pick up Redo of a Healer. They're not going to pick up something like that.
No.
But at least when you watch it, it's going to be kind of tamed. Like, it's not like... Listen, there's a lot of shit in anime that's still like, here, fan service every fucking 5 seconds. Which is why I don't like Fairy Tail anymore. Sorry to anyone that likes it. It's too fan servicey for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. They just ended, last year? Last year. 2020, right?
Which
year? Was it Fairy Tail? It's done now.
2019?
Was it 2019?
I think so.
It ran for a long time.
Yeah, because I know they did a final push for like the final season kind of thing.
Yeah, I stopped watching when they did the Loxus, like took over the city arc or whatever.
I never fully paid attention to Fairy Tail. Like, I've seen a couple episodes.
Yeah, I dived pretty heavy into it. Granted, character design was great. I liked all the characters. It's just, I hate how they keep introducing a character like Urza Scarlet. She's like that red hair chick from Fairy Tail. They introduce her. She's super, going like cross-eyed. She's like super powerful, buff. They show her as like she can do anything. She's a S-class hero, which is like the best. And then she gets taken out by someone fucking random, and then some like B-tier hero comes up and like destroys them. It's like the idea of like One Punch Man. You have these S-class heroes, then there's a shitload of B-tier heroes that are super good that just beat their ass. And I'm like, how? I would have some continuity.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's good, but not my cup of tea anymore.
Yeah, like I think even for myself, like my brother doesn't watch anime, like, and my little sister doesn't watch anime. Like, he likes Pokemon and he'll watch Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon's kind of,
but like, it's Pokemon for a lot of that was kind of westernized. Like,
yeah, Pokemon is definitely like, when you think anime, people usually don't group in Pokemon. They just think, oh, Pokemon's a great cartoon.
It feels new Pokemon is definitely anime. Like, yeah, once they definitely did the redesign, like, yeah. But like,
they destroyed my boy Ash. Looks like shit. Have you seen new Ash?
Yeah,
what he looks like? It looks like absolute dog.
I think it looks bad because we're not used to it.
I think they went more of a kid path. Coolest thing though is they made Pokemon Go, which I really like that. Well, someone else made it, but for them.
Yeah, but they like, if either of them came to me and was like, "Hey, I want to watch an anime," at no point would I ever present any of the shows listed on here to them. Maybe Demon Slayer. Just because it's 24 episodes.
Here, let me pull up the list again.
Demon Slayer, Naruto, Inuyasha, Bleach, One Piece, Fate, DBZ, Sailor Moon, Gundam, My Hero, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Your sister might
and
like
Ghost
Sailor
in the
Moon.
Shell. She may, but she's also like 14, and
the
animation may put her off.
For some reason, I thought she was like 10. I was like, she'll love it.
No.
14 now.
No. Like, if they came to me...
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend any of these. You'd have to get into... A lot of these are meant for, like, kids get into them. Mm-hmm. Like we said, like 4 Kids days or, like, Toonami days. Mm-hmm. Now they're, like, that's an age where your brother's... Well, he's the same age.
Yeah. 25.
So... A lot of these, I mean, Demon Slayer would be the only thing I'd really recommend to him. Mm-hmm. Bleach is a little too old. The thing is, like, people getting into anime now, they want really good animation. They don't want to go back and watch, like, early 2000s animation, which I still like as nostalgia, and I'm used to. That's what I grew up with. We both grew up with those 2000 era animes, like Fullmetal Alchemist, not Brotherhood, because Brotherhood came later. Like, what was that, like 2008 or something?
9.
I think. Yeah, because you could see a big difference between Brotherhood and...
Yeah, there was a multi-year difference.
Yeah. So, but all these are like, you grew up with them because they were for 90s kids and early 2000s kids.
And there's also My Hero, which like...
Oh, I forget that My Hero's not... My Hero I might, just because it's a...
I would only recommend because it's seasonal based as well, compared to everything else other than Demon Slayer. Like, those were... like 700 weeks straight of like, yo, we just keep pushing this shit out.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Black Clover is just about to take a break. It's not actually ending. People keep thinking it's going to actually end. It says end of an era, new beginning or whatever in the poster. They're going to do something new. It's going to be a new arc. But they've been doing it straight for like, what, 100 weeks? Like a year and a half?
Yeah. And I mean, if you can imagine, like, both Bleach and Naruto are perfect examples of the, hey, we still need to put something out era, which is why you have literal filler arcs. Yeah. There are sections like the Bounce arc in Bleach. It's 40 episodes. You don't have to watch it. It's not canon.
Yeah.
At no point is any of that in the manga.
Yeah. And there's a lot of shows that'll do that.
Also, it's kind of meh, but yeah. Like,
Gundam does that too. There's like whole series that are just fillers that when you click on like how to watch, they just say, yeah, you don't have to watch this. Skip it. It adds literally nothing.
Yeah. So on this list, I could say, hey, watch the first season of Demon Slayer or watch the first season specifically for My Hero, because like my brother would probably kind of like some shonen type stuff, which most of these are shonen.
Yeah, My Hero's the start of a new generation of.
Also, first season's only 12 episodes compared to the subsequent seasons, which are 25.
Really? It's only 12?
Yeah.
I feel like it was much longer than
that. The
was
first
season 2 24 then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Every subsequent season has been 24, but the first season was 12. So, like, that would be a good introduction where it's like, hey, watch these 12 episodes. If you like how that season ends, keep watching. And that's tomorrow.
Oh, we don't plan until tomorrow?
No. Tomorrow. But yeah, I would 100% be picking shows that are like, hey, let's give you a movie, or let's give you something that's 12 episodes, maybe 13 or 24, depending on.
I think 12 is like a
interest.
good start.
Yeah.
The thing is, when I introduce people, especially at work, that I have a whole bunch of coworkers that watch anime. Like, there's probably like 20, 30 of us that watch anime, which is cool because I never knew like there were so many anime watchers. The thing is, when a new coworker's like, hey, I hear you guys talking about anime, what would you recommend? Because the thing is, there's a lot of still like anime stereotype animes, like fucking, like I said, High School DxD, High School of the Dead, Redo of a Healer. Those are very like, and Demon Slayer. Those are all animes that'd be like, definitely don't start people on that. Even though Demon Slayer is cool. Not Demon Slayer.
Oh, sorry. My Hero's first season is 13 episodes.
I keep saying Demon Slayer. I don't mean Demon Slayer. Wait.
Goblin Slayer.
Goblin Slayer, yeah. Sorry, I keep saying Demon Slayer. I mean Goblin Slayer. They're both Slayers. Leave me alone. But I always recommend, like, yeah, I'm like, would you like something a little more adult, kind of like, you know, more serious? They're like, yeah, Cowboy Bebop. Great way to, like, the story's not way out of there. You get good music, good action. Even like Samurai Champloo is kind of good to start people out with. because it's more westernized, but being more Japanese in their kind of ways.
Yeah.
What's your go-to, like, if someone wants to get into it? What's like your default, like, here's an introduction to anime?
For me, I would. It honestly depends. Like someone like my little sister, I wouldn't be recommending even like.
Let's say someone
Death
our
Note.
age. Just as
Our
an example, like let's say someone our age.
Male or female? Male.
What's like your top? I should say, what's your top recommended to new people? It doesn't matter what the age. Like, what always seems to come up more often than others? Because mine's always like, I ask them if they want something long or something short. If they want something shorter, Cowboy Bebop. I mean, I know it's like 23 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I warn them like it's 20 something episodes, because in the first episode, if you don't like the first episode, you're probably not going to like the show.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they want something longer, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah. For me, it would probably be hey, do you want something more dark or lighthearted that maybe like has some emotion to it?
I don't know.
Depending on the scenario, it might be like, hey, you want lighthearted stuff? A Place Further Than the Universe is perfect to be like, just enjoy this small story that's 13 episodes, fully wrapped. And like, if you like that, we can move on from there. If you want more dark or action-y type stuff, it kind of depends on the
That's kind of hard when it's like,
a good one, just to give kind of an idea, and it gives you a little bit of tropey, but also some darkness to it. Saga of Tanya the Evil. First season was 12 episodes.
Yeah, Tanya's very...
You get an idea of like how much better some of the animation has gotten and the sound
You'd have
design.
to warn them too, like get 2 or 3 episodes in, because the first episode is very like they're setting it up because it's an isekai, which I keep forgetting is an isekai when you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of follow. It's the same thing as Jobless Reincarnation, because you forget, because they set it up pretty well without reminding you it's a isekai. Isekai is a cheap way to do a fantasy world without having to like do a shitload of background stuff.
Yeah, because then you can fill the details later.
Yeah.
And another one where it's like, hey, do you want dark with like a little bit of a hybrid stuff? Yo, watch the first season of Made in Abyss. Tell me if you like it. Like,
I don't know if I'd recommend that for someone. I know it's kind of like that in between.
Yeah, there are those people where it's like, let me just jump right into it. And it's like, go right ahead. This is both going to make you like enjoy the world and feel bad. Like,
the worst part is I do have coworkers that they've come to me a couple times with recommendations, or no, they want a recommendation for something that's even darker, more into anime. Something that's more expansive than just kind of the starter tier stuff. And someone was like, I want something really dark, like something that's like you watching like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, oh, okay, here's Berserk. Fucking dive in that shithole. I love Berserk. Don't get me wrong.
I would also probably recommend
Berserk is
its recent It Invaded is so good. When did it come out? Like,
didn't they just do another?
Did they
just do another thing for like another season, or they were doing something else?
No, I think they announced that there's going to be a manga adaptation or something.
Oh, okay. It Invaded's pretty old. I mean, it looks good because they've
old. No, It Invaded.
Oh, I think of it. What am I thinking?
It came out last year, so it's like super new. It was March 2020.
Oh, id.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying it.
No,
like id. That old.
ID.
I remember seeing some trailers for this. I never watched it.
It's on Funimation. It is action, like that's not like psychological kind of stuff. It's pretty good. There's it's a really good show. Like, for a show that came out last year that's 13 episodes, it's an original, by the way. On my anime list is ranked 7.9 out of 10. I don't know what you...
No, what's that old show when we were kids? Was it It? What was that little, like, he had a triangle head, he had like a robotic dog?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're losing me here. But yeah, like A lot of the times, though, it just really depends on the person. That's some like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friend shit.
No, keep talking. I'm looking for it. I'm trying. I know I'm not crazy. Oh, fuck was it called? Oh, Zim Invaded. That's what I'm thinking of. That's right? Is it Zim?
No, Invader Zim is what
Invader
you're
Zim.
Yeah, fucking... I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
For some reason, I remember. Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about this. I was
No.
like, what the fuck? They're doing more of it? And you're like, it just came out. I'm like, oh, man, I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Yeah, no, not that at all.
Sorry, folks. Henry's just dumb.
I really liked Id Invaded. It's done by Naz Studio.
If they want a rom-com, Torador is pretty mellow. I mean, it's really good. I think it's written good. I think the story's good. Mm-hmm. Animation's good for the time it came out. There's definitely better things now, like Hear Me. Mm-hmm. But Torador is definitely like, that'd be a good one to get into as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of times for me, oh, by the way, Inuyasha is 167 episodes. So that's like also...
Fucking Inuyasha is good, dude. Grew up on that shit. Except it was always like reruns.
Mm-hmm.
Really, they never had like new episodes of it.
So, but like...
So I started watching like AnimeFreak.tv and you watch like part one. We talked about that before when you go on YouTube. Like that was kind of like the change of like going from a normal viewer to like going more in depth of go on YouTube. Like Melancholy Who's Suzumiya subbed because you could never find it dubbed.
Mm-hmm. But I specifically for like myself, if I had someone being like, hey, I'm interested in like checking out anime, like I'd really want to try and like dial it in because I think anime is a great medium and I'd want to give them something that I know they're going to like. Whether it's a movie, whether it's, you know, a short anime, it's like maybe it's an OVA where it's like, here's a sprinkle of that. Do you want a little bit more of it? Here's like the full season.
What's definitely a big like
Death Billiards to Death Parade would be a good example where it's like, oh, did you like the concepts in Death Billiard? Here's Death Parade an entire season.
I like how they're doing that now. Mm-hmm. Doing because there's definitely been more shows like that where they do like like the Ancient Magus Bride. There were 6 months in between each OVA. They did 3 OVAs. Then it got a whole series and people fucking loved it. I remember seeing the
I'm surprised they haven't done another season.
I think they're taking their time. I'd rather have them take their time and wait longer. But then there's sometimes where you get something like Fully Cooley. That was definitely you've seen it, right? Mm-hmm. It's definitely like a done, thing. And then 11 years later, they're like, here's 2 more seasons of it. It's like, okay. I watched the season 2. I was like, it's all right. Yeah, that's what I remember. Never watched the 3rd season.
Yeah. But like, I would 100% try to like highly specially pick something where it's like, do you like a bit of action? Okay, let's check that mark. Do you like want kind of a love story? Okay, let's check that mark. Like, do you
Gundam?
Do you also want some like comedy kind of stuff mixed in?
Gundam.
Yes, the greatest comedy ever, Gundam. Like check.
You haven't seen Double O, have you?
No, but it's like okay,
so
these are these 3 check marks. Fucking
Torador.
Beyond the Boundary is like checks those 3. Watch this. It's 12 episodes in a movie.
Yeah. The other cool thing too is they could always go on
there's the Scrunch Down movie and then there's the sequel movie. So you can watch it either way.
Like even like if they wanted to start getting into more, because like we always said again, I guess a second level thing. So first level is that easier stuff. Second level will be like Tengen Toppa, Gurren Lagann. Mm-hmm. Like that's definitely a next tier thing. But like top tier anime is like, I feel like the more niche in the community. Like, for example, I always say like Initial D. It's cool and all, people make memes of it. Most people haven't fucking watched it. Or even like Evangelion, very well known in the anime community. You ask someone if they've seen it, they're like, I know the memes.
Mm-hmm. Or it's like, I've seen the first
2 episodes.
The first 2 episodes are of like, oh yeah, I've watched that show, and it's like, oh, did you only watch the first season? And it's like, there's more than the first season, and it's like, yeah, there's like 3 movies, and a 4th one's on its way.
You mean 3.0 plus 1.0 the movie?
Yeah,
which is what the fuck.
So it's like,
I'm excited to finally see, because this movie, they got the budget they want. Mm-hmm. From what I've been told, because I haven't looked at it, this is all secondhand information. They got
Netflix
the budget they
paid
want
for this shit.
Yeah, they got the budget they want. They get to do what they want, so they can end it the way they want it to. Because some of the other like shit, like the series and one of the movies, they ran out of money like halfway through, and they're like, "Quick, wrap it up."
That's essentially how they did it with the first season, didn't they? Because the budget got all whack, so they're like, "Congratulations!"
Yeah, like congratulations, Shinji.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh,
yeah.
ooh. There's even like some old shows that still hold up today. You ever seen Cromartie High School?
No.
It's like a comedy. It's a delinquent high school guy gets into the wrong high school. The live action's actually pretty funny too. It's pretty good.
I tried to get my little sister into Orin High School Host Club, and she was not into
Really?
it. Yeah.
That's such a nice. That used to be 4x3. Like most Blu-rays you buy now, they cut off the edges to make it fit. But that was a 4x3 series.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah,
that just shows
it's on
how
Netflix,
old it was.
so I
love it.
on,
Orin will
but she
always
didn't
have
care.
a whole a place in my heart. Do you want to know how the manga ends?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
She spoiler, she marries everyone.
Everyone.
That's what I was told. I haven't read the manga. I haven't read the last manga book. I've read the other ones. I should buy it and put it. It's only like 12, I think.
You should finish that because maybe someone's pranking you.
Oh,
You've just been assuming that that's how it ends this entire time, and it's
oh my god.
But there are definitely a list of shows where it's like I'm not going to ever recommend this to you. Do you see it?
I gotta read it.
The like
How much is it on Amazon?
there's that list of shows where it's like, nah, man, like come back when you're like you've seen some shit before you really get like too heavy into some of the shows, where it's like I don't think I would ever recommend.
It's only $100 for 18 volumes. Fuck, I was way off.
Oh,
That's a good deal.
Domestic Girlfriend is not an anime to be like, oh, you've never seen anime? Here you go, bud.
Do it. Don't be a pussy. That's one of those shows where it's like you and I would know each other for a while. It's like, you know what? I watched this. I thought it had like a good over. Because you've read the whole thing too, right?
Yeah, I don't like to talk about that.
Throwing him under the fucking bus here, man.
It's the one manga on my anime list that I have not rated.
You should rate it. You've been called out now. What would you give it? Listen, everyone's got their own taste. Don't be fucking shy.
I'm conflicted, which is why I haven't given it.
That's a fucking lie. We both know it.
It's partial truths. Another good example would be like Boogie Pop and others. Like that shit, especially like I haven't seen the original. I watched the 2019 version, which is apparently kind of a continuation of the original. So I'll eventually get around to watching the original. But the 2019 version, there's shit that like runs out of order where it's confusing if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
And there are just certain shows like that where it's like, if you're not willing to properly commit, you are going to be confused.
The problem is like, then you get some shows that are super good and more popular, like The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Great show. I loved it. But then you get to the Endless 8. And then that really killed the series because they were still making shit for it. But that really, I think, because they rushed season 2, they did it before it was done, and then there's a whole host of things.
I don't think I would recommend the Monogatari series as a first.
No, definitely not. That's definitely a next tier. Like
that's like 2 tiers up.
Yeah,
that's like, oh, you want some shit that's really good, but like you gotta be into it for it to be really good. Like. It's just to its own thing. It's a very Shaft production. Like,
you ever see Top Gear?
Yeah.
You know how they have the cool wall?
Yeah.
We should do that with anime. Put it up here, just like take 3 and that's what we'll do. We'll do it next time.
Need 2 more whiteboards.
No, we'll just have a giant Velcro thing with pictures. Adhesive it on. Throw it up there, roll it up. Dude, that's it. We're gonna start doing a cool wall for anime. 3 episodes, three series a week. Is it cool? Yeah. Slap.
We can put it on that wall.
That's true. But then we get the second camera when we get our tax. Hey, watch Bond Weed. I forgot about our taxes. How much it fucking sucks.
I think even something like ReZero, I wouldn't.
No, that's definitely a next. That's probably 2 tiers up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's anime enough.
Mm-hmm.
that most people after watching, because you got to ease them into it. You got to show them the more westernized things first, then get them into more tame Japanese things, and then into...
What are 2 shows that you would absolutely just never recommend a new person, like ever?
Oh, a new person?
Yeah.
Like someone in the first couple, like in the first tier or 2?
Yeah.
Berserk, I would never recommend that. That's definitely one of those shows where it's like, you need to watch enough anime and understand. Plus, the author is always on hiatus watching Love Live. So, fucking degenerate. Second show?
Yeah.
God, something I want to recommend. You know what's actually a show I would recommend, though? Close to the beginning. Not quite in the beginning. Maybe tier 2 is Gate. I think Gate is a very, like, people really, really liked it, and it was very easy to follow. I can't think of something else I want to recommend off. I guess High School DxD or High School of the Dead. One of those very, like, etchy. I wouldn't recommend anything etchy, especially in the first couple, because that could immediately turn people off of the derogatory or, like, the stereotypical things of anime. Because I've told you I once dated someone that, like, fully believed that all anime was just child porn and people getting raped. And I was like, well, you would be very wrong. In 99.99% of cases. Looking at you, redo of a healer. Fucking fucked up shit.
The 2 where it's like, nah, man, don't start with this. Definitely the Monogatari series. It's
too complicated off.
It's too complicated, and it's very, very unique in its style that would be off-putting to a lot of people. Yeah. Also, like,
it's more of
if
an
you
artistic
immediately
choice.
was like, yo, watch this toothbrush scene without context, and you're like, now watch the show.
We had one of those this week with Quince. Not this week. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And then the other one, and it's on the completely opposite side, Girls Last Tour.
Oh, yeah. That's a little like...
It slice of life. Like,
but it's also kind of dark.
It kind of dark, but overall, nothing really Nazis. Happens. And you have to be like kind of introduced-ish into some slice of life stuff. Like
kind of like Nichijou. Ichijou, nothing really kind of happens. It's just...
But at least that has hyperbolic comedy aspects.
Yeah.
This is literally like, so anyways, we traveled from one area to another area and kind of had a small conversation, and that's the end of the episode.
It's one of those animes that come out every season that you just watch to kick back. Now, some of the figures I want for it. Have you seen like the...
Yeah. And, like, don't get me wrong. I really like Girls Last Tour. So do a lot of people. It's 12 episodes. It's ranked 8. It has a score of 8.19, and it's ranked 632 in popularity. Really?
That's probably just because
very popular.
It's nice just to kick back. You need a kickback show every season. A reset, I should
say. But it's something that, like... If you introduce that to someone who's not familiar with anime, like, there would definitely be that moment of like, what am I wasting my time for? And did I enjoy watching Girls Last Tour? Absolutely. I own the Blu-ray. I own the Blu-ray of a lot of shows that I've enjoyed. Even a couple of them that I haven't seen. But that's never back in stock. That's never coming back. Yeah, I just wouldn't. I think Girls Last Tour would be too much. Like, I would probably be like, hey, if you like A Place Further Than the Universe, which is a slice of life, it's like, do you want a little bit slower-ish and then maybe recommend Girls Last Tour? Because it's also slice of life and a bit more like commentary-esque of like what the show is trying to portray. But like definitely not the first. People would either be confused or bored.
Yeah, they would be like all enemies. What's a movie you would recommend? I mean, I pulled this up because...
A movie I'd recommend?
Yeah, if you were to watch any Ghibli. To be fair, Ghibli's a very easy, like... Mine is like Ghibli. I think Ghibli. I think even A Silent Voice.
I think...
That'd be an emotional roller coaster, but it's very...
Premiere or Silent Voice would be the two.
Premiere would be
because it's a good aspect on either side, where it's like, you get something that like is out to...
It's very tamed. It's not like super fantasy or anything. It's very
relatable. I was specifically... You talking about A Silent Voice?
Yeah. Sorry, a silent voice, not Premiere.
Yeah. So the story that's being told is kind of depressing and maybe a bit much for some individuals. Specifically, like, Premiere is just the action fucking triggered, like, going ham with some animation and, like, doing good storytelling. And then, like, silent voice makes you real depressed. So I think it's a good...
Makes you depressed, but at the end you sit there like, I definitely fucking cried on that movie. I was like, damn, this emotionally hurt me.
And this is how I've conveniently been able to squeeze a silent voice into 2 podcasts in a day. But yeah.
Or you could be a boss and recommend them Akira.
I mean...
Dude, this is like 20 inches tall.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like this tall and it's like this wide.
It's a big one.
$600.
Yeah. Sounds
hey, Right Stuff, sponsor us, please. No. Akira's one of those like cult classic. This is definitely like a second tier. It depends if they like, again, it's one of those shows where I have the 4K version, which they've definitely upped the animation, cleaned it up. It's definitely a product of its time.
The 80s?
Yeah. But it's still a good movie. Like, it's not like Spirited Away.
I think the original Ghost in the Shell is also a good movie.
Yeah, it's not what an introduction movie. It'd definitely be.
Yeah, but I mean, kind of depends. Especially if like you're willing to recommend Akira. Like both of those worlds are.
No, Akira is definitely not an introduction. I was saying like second tier.
Okay,
this is definitely. Dude, I would love to recommend Wandering Egg Priority. I keep seeing your Oto sticker. It's definitely not easy to introduce.
That is not. I don't think none of these on the back.
Assassination Classroom would probably be the first I'd recommend out of all of those.
Yeah, maybe because it's well-rounded, but it is 50
Hollow
episodes.
Alive, I would introduce first.
Yes, there's my little pecker. Yeah.
What's your Mountain Rising Sun? It says BS.
Oh, it's just like, I think the symbol of the like maker or whatever.
Oh, okay. So it's just, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be something new. I think it's on your back, your laptop, definitely Assassination Classroom. Then probably Wandering Egg, if they wanted something.
ReZero. ReZero gets both some of the lighthearted stuff, but also gets really depressing. And I think the problem with Wandering Egg is...
If I had to go out, well...
Look, some of the stuff is in 6 episodes
dark,
that Wandering Egg is like touching on.
Even 4 episodes.
It's... maybe a little too real for a lot of people, that at least with ReZero you have a level of disconnect because they're in a fantasy world, there's magic and stuff like that. Though of course there is like magic in Wandering Egg, but there's a level of reality that's set to ground you in that world.
Damn. 4.9 on Google.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Out of our IMDb gives it 8.5. It's definitely one of those, I hate to say slept on, but everyone I've talked to that watches it, no one's talked about it.
Really?
Almost everyone I know that watches anime and that watches the Attack on Titan, calling it second greatest anime ever. That's a line we both know, but
most overrated anime ever. No.
Does your anime have a theme park?
No. Oh, well.
It's definitely one of those shows, I think, now that they announced it's the last season, everyone's just finally getting done with it. You know what I mean? Because I think they said it's the most completed. Season 1 is the most completed anime on my anime list. Now, to be fair, it's one of the most popular when it came out, too. So I'm excited to see what happens. Do you have anything else? We're about at the 45-minute. I acted like I looked at a watch. I wear a watch at work, so it's like.
I wear a watch, too. I took it off.
Yeah.
It's right here. My wrist was getting sweaty.
Just.
But no, that's about it.
Stay tuned. The Japan crate should be uploaded soon.
Yeah. Big takeaways. Don't fucking gatekeep anime.
Yeah, don't be a dick.
And you think normies shouldn't be part of anime, you're absolutely fucking garbage.
Oh.
Thank you for your time.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to say. Sorry. I forgot to say this. Here, I'll just cut it so it looks like it. No, I'm going to Anime Iowa this year. Confirmed. The rest of the cast is still to be determined. But I will. If you're at Anime Iowa, I will be there. And if you like our content, let us.
Apparently, I looked up this by the way.
Oh,
these symbols are two kanji that stand for day and evening.
Oh, from over here, it just looks like a B and an S. So I was like,
no,
oh,
they're
BS.
kanji.
Oh, hey, you gonna say bye again?
Don't be a trash human being. Let people enjoy the things that they like. Unless it's child porn, then no.
Fuck you.
Thank you.